Times women go crazy for child support on paternity court.
How are you feeling emotional, Ms. Hanger? What are you feeling?
That my daughter has to go without her father because I went through that.
Mr. Porvecchio and Ms. Lutz are siblings.
Thank you. Keep up the lies, Ricky. Keep them up. You ruined our relationship with your lies. You're done, Ricky. Thank you very much, Dawn.
Tensions escalate as Mr. Porvecchio accuses Miss Touche and Miss Lutz of deceitfully receiving $150,000 in settlement money from his late father's tragic death. He firmly believes that Miss Lutz is not his biological sister, and he's determined to expose the alleged cover-up. Meanwhile, Miss Touche seeks to end the decades-long feud fueled by rumors and lies.
My father was on a tugboat working and he drowned. Accidental death is what it's said on his death certificate.
That's what it was declared.
That's what it was.
It's declared as accidental death, drowned.
So let me understand. Your father at the time was married to
My mom.
Me.
Miss Touche passionately defends her family against Mr. Porvecchio's accusations, revealing her parents were separated at the time of his father's death. A compelling twist unfolds as Mr. Porvecchio presents his aunt as a witness. The truth unravels, leaving Miss Lutz stunned by the shocking revelations. The audience is captivated, awaiting the riveting conclusion in this paternity court battle.
My mom and my dad were separated, right, when he died.
And just living apart, there was no legality
They
to
were
it
not
at all.
divorced, and my dad never said I was not his
denied
daughter.
Okay, Mr. Porvecchio, you brought a couple of witnesses. I want to get to the first witness, Ms. Cortez.
Yes, she never denied me either. This is the first I'm hearing about this a few weeks ago.
Emotions run high as Miss Lutz tearfully shares her heartache and confusion over the family's rejection after her father's death. She passionately defends her identity as Ricky's daughter, expressing hurt over doubts raised. The courtroom brims with raw emotions, and the complexity over this family feud unfolds before Judge Lake.
I loved Ricky with all my heart, and the fact that he would even question me and him being brother and sister kills me because I look just like my daddy. If anybody looks like my daddy, I look just like my daddy. I have a lot of anger for the Porvecchios, my daddy's side of the family, because when my daddy passed away, they passed away.
Miss Lutz uncovers doubts her late father had, fueled by the Porvecchio family rumors. Miss Touche confirms his love for her despite uncertainty. Accusations fly over greed and money. Judge Lake delves deeper, seeking to understand the roots of doubt and any potential involvement of others. The courtroom remains on edge as the mystery unfolds.
There was doubt from my father, thinking that Taurine was actually for him. But he did love Laurie.
Of course he did. He married her and had 2 children with her. The rumors
Correct.
came from the Porvecchio family, and the only reason there's any question about any money is because they thought they can get their greedy little hands on it after my daddy passed.
Anything
There was
about
nothing.
anything.
Oh, really?
In a heart-wrenching outpouring, Miss Lutz defends her love for her late father and the pain of growing up without him. Memories and belongings taken away deepen the family divide. Amidst the heated exchange, Miss Cortez supports their once close bond. Shocked and hurt, Miss Lutz expresses disbelief at never being aware of paternity doubts.
He loved his kids.
He
Like
loved
you
his
care. He
children.
loved his children.
Yes, he
Yes.
did.
I love
Hence
my
his daughter.
And I grew up without a dad, and that was hard enough. And then when I grew up without his memories, his childhood, I didn't have that because they took that from me. All of his belongings.
Your mother took that
and
from
didn't
you.
give them back to me. Didn't let me have anything from my dad.
The courtroom erupts in chaos as years of lies unravel. Anger and heartbreak fill the air as family bonds are shattered. Miss Touche blames the interference for ruining their relationship, while Mr. Porvecchio simply wanted the truth. The once close-knit family is torn apart, forever changed by the revelations.
Mr. Porvecchio and Ms. Lutz are siblings.
Thank you. Keep up the lies, Ricky. Keep them up. You ruined our relationship with your lies.
You're done, Ricky.
Thank you very much, Dawn.
You the one that wanted this.
No, I wanted it
shouldn't
to
have
show
brought it
you.
out.
I
You
wanted
brought
to
it
show you
out,
we
and
never
you
had this
got
problem
exactly
until they
what
got in the
you
middle of
deserve.
us.
Mr. Williams brings Miss Annette Smith to court, accusing her of scamming him for child support on her 22-year-old daughter, Clarissa. He vehemently denies being the father, claiming they used condoms at all times. The tension arises as they prepare to reveal the shocking truth and dispute over a staggering $36,742.43 in child support arrears.
Mr. Harrelson, you admit to having a one-night stand with a defendant whose name you didn't even know 19 years ago. You claim you are the victim of paternity fraud, and now you are more than $20,000 in debt for a child you don't believe is yours.
Yes, Your
vagina.
Mr. Williams shares the shocking moment he discovered he was on child support while doing labor-ready work. His hard-earned $80 turned into a measly $7 a day because of child support deductions. He couldn't believe it and decided to find other ways to make a living. But fate had different plans, as a car accident changed everything.
We had just moved to Detroit, and my sister, she had moved in with a friend. So we went over there. We were sitting, drinking, and talking. We went upstairs and had sex, and that's what it was. That's what it was.
So it really was a brief encounter.
Yes.
And Mr. Harrelson,
Everybody
you
split
say you
away.
didn't even know her name.
Nah.
He knew my name.
Hold on, things are heating up. Miss Smith recalls how she tried to get a DNA test, but Mr. Williams refused. Oh, and let's not forget the drama when she went to California to find him. But he's not holding back either, accusing her of sending court papers to the wrong address, causing chaos in his family's life. This paternity court battle is getting wild.
People were staying with, he been upstairs for, I don't know how long he been living upstairs from the people downstairs. They knew his name.
And so when she went down and followed this process, at the point she gave your name and address, there should have been a letter or summons sent for a DNA test. You never got that?
No, I didn't. I wasn't in the States. I was gone.
Ooh, the plot thickens. Miss Smith is defending herself, claiming she never scammed him since they were in a relationship. But Mr. Williams has some questions about those missing condoms, and the audience can't help but laugh at the unexpected twist. Hold on tight. This paternity court case is getting juicier by the second.
I think this is an important time.
It is.
As we begin to talk about all of the things that were happening. All this time you were growing up without a dad. And what was life like growing up without your dad? So much so that when you walked in here, you couldn't even look at him.
At the end of the day, there's nobody like your real dad.
Judge Lake brings out a picture of Mr. Williams and Miss Smith together with their daughter Clarissa in California, looking like a happy couple. But Mr. Williams still insists he's not the father. The tension rises as he claims the child doesn't look like him, and he hasn't seen her since '98. Can Miss Smith prove he's the dad?
So Mr. Harrelson, when you get that message and you see it's Talia and she's saying, I think you're my dad, you ask her, is this your mother?
Yes. Well, basically, I'm just making sure she
But how can
is
you
who
ask
she
her
is.
daddy? He didn't know my name. So how can you ask her that? Is your mama this and you ain't know my name? And we ain't never spoke.
This is what, three years ago?
The emotions reach a boiling point as Judge Lake confronts Mr. Williams about the impact of his absence on his daughter Clarissa. The young girl expresses her longing for a father figure in her life, while Mr. Williams still questions his paternity. But Judge Lake lays down the truth. Regardless of biology, Clarissa believes he's her dad.
And I think it's time we get the truth. Mr. Harrelson, you are the father. We found your father, Talia. We did it, honey. You made it.
The truth is out, and the emotions run high as the court declares Mr. Williams as Clarissa's father. Tears flow as Clarissa, overcome with joy, finds the closure she's been yearning for. Mr. Williams finally accepts his role as a father, regretful for the lost years. Judge Lake's powerful words remind him of the irreplaceable time he missed with his daughter.
And I want to ask you something, because when you came in the courtroom, you said you couldn't look at him. Can you look at him for the first time? Oh, honey.
You can cry too.
And so can you look at your daughter? Can you look at your little girl? She's been through a lot to get to this point, Dad.
In this intense courtroom battle, Miss Hanger accuses the defendant of neglecting her daughter, while Mr. Babbitt adamantly denies being the father. Is her accusation true, or is she just going crazy for child support? Miss Hanger insists on undeniable proof, but Mr. Babbitt remains unyielding, leading to a gripping confrontation filled with twists and turns.
Ms. Hanger, you claim the defendant has already been placed on child support for your daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've dragged him to court to order he pay the support he has been neglecting. Mr. Babbitt, you petitioned the court to order a DNA test because you are 100% certain that you are not her child's father.
Yes.
Amidst the mounting tension, Judge Lake dives deeper into the conflicting claims. Ms. Hanger accuses Mr. Babbitt of disregarding court documents, which he deems fraudulent. The judge seeks to unravel this web of deceit, questioning the authenticity of the service. Ms. Hanger and Mr. Babbitt's past encounter is brought to light, leaving everyone on the edge of their seats.
Miss Hanger, I want to understand what he's saying because I want to understand how a grown man gets paperwork from a court that he doesn't honor. You felt like it was like something fraudulent?
Well, yeah, if I would have got a letter that had it like postmarking on it, that went through the mail, that would have made me feel a whole lot better about it, but I didn't.
As tensions flare in the courtroom, Judge Lake lays down the law, reprimanding Mr. Babbitt for his absence. With sharp words and a firm hand, she makes it clear that this is a serious matter concerning the future of a child. The atmosphere electrifies as everyone awaits the next revelation. The stakes are high, and the truth hangs in the balance.
You look confused, period, and you look like you got a smart mouth, and you think you know too much, but what you should have known was to bring your butt to court. Then you wouldn't be here.
Thank you.
Now you can get smart with me if you want to. Let me tell you something, Mr. Babbitt. Let me tell you something, Mr. Babbitt. You can get smart with me if you want to. You're gonna lose every day of this week.
On to Miss Hanger's relationships. Mr. Babbitt alleges she was involved with another roommate, leading to jealousy and inappropriate comments. The atmosphere intensifies as the truth unfolds, leaving everyone stunned and eager for more answers. The fate of Chloe's paternity hangs in the balance, and the tension keeps the audience on the edge of their seats.
Do you think at the time she was sleeping with you that she was also sleeping with someone else?
Yeah, the other roommate, because he was super jealous when I first showed up there. I was gonna tell me
What
about
made
this.
you believe he was sleeping with her?
He made a comment about how when she gets mad, walked around looking like a bulldog, and then the other statement,
I don't know how exactly you can even...
As the truth continues to unfold, Mr. Babbitt recounts a tense doctor's appointment challenging the pregnancy's validity. Conflicting narratives heighten the mystery, leaving the audience guessing about Chloe's true paternity. With allegations of deception and confusion surrounding the ultrasound, the court's decision becomes even more critical. The drama keeps everyone captivated, eagerly awaiting the final verdict.
So at this point, you're not believing, Mr.
Right, because
Babbitt,
that could
that
be
she's
medically
really
helpful.
even pregnant, or you're not believing that the baby is yours?
I didn't even
You didn't
she
believe I was
pregnant.
pregnant.
I went to the doctor's appointment with her to get the ultrasound done. We're sitting there, they're doing this ultrasound, and the nurse is sitting there, okay, we're gonna find that heartbeat. And then the nurse is kind of going over her stomach.
It wasn't an ultrasound, it was a fetal Doppler. Two different things.
Amid emotional turmoil, Miss Hanger worries about her daughter Chloe growing up fatherless, recalling her own experience. Roy Babbitt, Chloe's grandfather, stands beside the plaintiff, confident that Chloe is his granddaughter. He presents baby pictures, revealing the striking resemblance between Chloe and Royce, adding to the mystery. The court anticipates the decisive paternity test results.
This is a picture of
my baby picture.
Of your baby picture on the
Correct.
left, and Chloe's baby picture on the right.
Plus, Chloe has so many tendencies, looks, and mannerisms as Royce does.
My daughter has to go without her father because I went through that.
The truth emerges, and the crowd applauds as Royce Babbitt is declared Chloe's father. Despite the past denial, Royce now embraces his role. An apology is sought, but the court emphasizes that the focus should be on learning a vital lesson about being responsible when engaging in unprotected activities. The paternity test results have brought clarity to the situation.
Mr. Royce Babbitt, you are her father.
Luke does.
All I want is an apology for her.
I don't owe you any apology.
You owe me an apology for denying her. I've told you from day one.
Yeah, it's my child now, but it wasn't then. I mean, I could
It was
You've been your
till
child
then.
since conception.
Is Mr. Connor really a victim, or is Miss Wallace going crazy for child support only? A one-time fling with the defendant morphed into over 15 years of child support payments, but he's always doubted he's the father. Today's results could break free from the injustice, as Miss Wallace and her husband claim the truth lies within.
Mr. Connor, you say a one-time fling with the defendant turned into more than 15 years of child support payments and even jail time for a child you have never believed is yours. You need today's results to prove you are not her child's father.
Mr. Connor vehemently denies completing the act, while Miss Wallace insists on their year-long relationship with numerous intimate encounters. She recalls the moment she discovered her pregnancy and claims she informed him. Mr. Connor refutes the claim, dismissing it as a lie.
What do you remember, Ms. Wallace?
I remember him and I being in a whole year relationship, and we had sex numerous of times, Your Honor. And he did know I got sick. My mom taking me to my doctor's appointment, and that's when I found out. I called you and I told you. Back then we had paid. You a lie.
The courtroom transforms into a battlefield of accusations as Miss Wallace and Mr. Connor lock horns. Their memories clash, leaving the audience gasping. Miss Wallace stands her ground, demanding child support without a relationship. The court clarifies the default judgment when Mr. Connor failed to appear. Emotions run high as they await the judge's verdict.
I told him I did not want to be in a relationship with him.
You're a professional liar.
You know what? I'm not going to even, disrespect you because I'm a woman.
That's not disrespect. You committed a crime.
Like I said, Your Honor, this man, he wanted to be with me, and I did not want to be with him.
And I understand how that happens, trust me.
Mr. Connor recalls Jeffrey's visit, unsure of the details. His wife's testimony sheds light on the past, confirming Jeffrey's presence in their home at age 10. She reveals Mr. Connor had already shared the story of Wanda's claim, attempting to have sex with her. Despite already paying child support, they lost contact with Jeffrey until he returned at around 15.
When Jeffrey was 10, we came home one day to the house and he was sitting on the couch and I just asked Jewett, who is that? And he said, that's Jeffrey, and I already knew the situation. He had already told me.
What had he told you?
Basically that Wanda put a baby on him. He attempted to have sex with her.
When Jeffrey was 10, was your husband paying child support for Jeffrey?
Yes.
The court confirms that Mr. Connor is not Jeffrey's father, causing an uproar in the audience. Mr. Connor, feeling deceived, insists he knew all along. The judge acknowledges his frustration, but turns her attention to Jeffrey, who admits feeling uncertain due to his mother's adamant claims. Emotions run high as the truth finally surfaces, leaving Jeffrey in distress.
Mr. Connor, you are not the father.
I already knew it. She committed a crime. She set me up. I knew this all the time.
I understand you are frustrated, and I understand you have been through a lot.